Good morning. Ira Epstein with your morning flash update. And this update is for the morning as we're sitting here now on Monday. And this is the 30th of June, the last trading day of June 2025, about 8:20 a.m. Central Time. Another rally that carried through from last night when I was putting out the evening updates right on through into the morning. Gold finding or trying to find its legs. So the question is the 3250 low enough, or does the market have to slip back towards 3200? In the silver market, you did get down to 3558, and you've come roaring back up almost, 60 points from that low. In the copper market, a bit of easing at the London Metal Exchange on the premiums. Give you an idea, the front month, the premium that went over it was about $98. You're back to about $6. That doesn't mean that the situation's over. But when you get these situations where you get a front month and you don't have product to deliver on it, problems happen. Platinum market back up $4. The dollar continuing its decline. Most currencies coming up. The Canadian getting a bid this morning. Why? Well, let's talk about that before we get any further. You're going to get the Chicago PMI coming out today at 8:45. They're looking for an improvement to a 43 reading from the May reading of 40.5. The Dallas Fed's going to update their monthly regional manufacturing outlook this morning, and they're doing that at 9:30. The last reading was a negative 15.3. I don't recall the last time we had a positive reading out of Texas. Now, in Canada, if you'll recall, under Prime Minister Trudeau, not Mark Carney, a digital tax was proposed that would go into effect June 30th, and it was going to tax Amazon, Google, other internet companies that do commerce in Canada. It was a 3% digital tax. It was very unpopular, but I think it was meant as the barrier when the president was putting up what he wants to tax Canada on. Canada came back against our giants doing that. Mark Carney, at the very last minute yesterday, said, nope, we're ditching that. And the trade talks are magically back on. In other words, he understood, and I think he understands President Trump. He's playing to Trump's weakness. Trump's weakness is gratify him. It's that simple. Give him a win. Here, I didn't do this. Trudeau did. We had it. I came to the table. Come on, let's talk and get your biggest trading partner with you together at the table, and let's solve our problems. A cool move. You've got to give him credit for it, okay? You may not look at it that way. I happen to. So that's what you're going to get. You're going to get more of this going on. I mean, the countries that are going to stand up to Trump are going to find out that a letter's going to come out soon. You know, I don't go by Trump's dates of July 9th. You have to have a deal done. I don't know when it'll happen. But my guess is that countries that are close to whatever Lutnick and Bessent and the others have been able to negotiate, we'll probably see something between a 10 and 25% tariff on their goods. Those are the deals happening with, well, you can see in the UK, they've set the mark, 10%. And as I predicted, I am predicting, present tense, nobody's getting under a 10% overall tax. Will there be cutouts? Absolutely. There have to be. Key products we need, those will be the cutouts. But overall, that 10% number. In the UK today, their cars can now start coming in without that, I think it was a 24% or a 27% tax. That is coming down. So different things are happening. However, aluminum and steel are still not yet negotiated with the UK, and they sit there with a high tax on them. So parts have to go on here. It was always too ambitious to think you could deal with 170 countries or whatever and get deals done before July 9th. I don't know where that came from, and I said it was ludicrous at that time, and it still is. But the president's going to hit everybody. The other element you got to watch this week, the tax bill. Now we get into the vote-a-rama where everybody gets on the Senate floor to come in and put up an amendment or a change to the bill. It gets voted on, and it keeps going and going and going until it's over. It'll go all night long, is my guess. That crazy part where they had to read 940 pages into the Senate minutes, that's ridiculous. Just hand them the page and do it. Otherwise, make all the members, as I said, show up and sit in the chamber while it's being read. That way, you know they had an opportunity to go through the bill. Most people don't go through 940 pages. Maybe they have their staff do it for them. The other thing that we have to look for is the jobless number. That's going to come out on Thursday. Remember, it's a shortened week. So be ready for all this. That's going to impress the markets. You can see in the grain markets, beans getting a bid, oil getting a bid off of that, meal still falling down. Meal market is just like a garbage market here. They're crushing the soybean to get to the oil because the oil's got some renewable feature to it. On the energy markets, even though we're back into heat, 22 cents lower in that gas. I told you how I look at it, having traded this for 50 some odd years, that natural gas goes up on the first move typically, not always, but typically, that first hot blast you get during the summer. That was delayed until about 2 weeks ago when we got it. And when you get it, you don't buy it then. That's when you're dumping it because it's a futures market. Anticipate the future, dump the reality. That is what's gone here. I think you're going to play around games now in the crude as OPEC is getting ready to meet and set up their August production numbers. I think it's the August number. It's August or September. Whatever month it is, they're going to, in my opinion, increase again. The market's still high enough for them to do fine, and they want to grab back their market share. So, do want to remind you that our free offers are all out there. Market letters. You want to get our price counts. That is something you're not going to get anywhere else. And they're emailed to you daily if you give it a trial. It is available to our clients, free. You can get to see what they look like. Free access if you want to try these charting service that I use. We have two versions, QT and LTP they're called. Then our different platforms for order entry. You can see how they paper trade. You can also get our trading kit with all the different courses in it. A lot of the comments that we get and get on our commentary for a short period too. Just go to iraepstein.com, free offers. You'll see the icon up here. It's iraepstein.com, and then look to the left. Free offers. The icons will take you right there. And when you get there, just click off the offers that you'd want. It'll go into a cart, and at the bottom of the page, all you do, put in your information. Generally, within 2 business days, we email everything out that you need. I'm Ira. I'll catch up with you at the end of the trading day. Let's do a review and see what new comes out of the voting bill, the tariff talk, and of course, more talk about jobs. You take care.